Hello everyone, my name is Chris Collected, and welcome to another episode of Queer Creations with Chris Collected. We're going to make today some little dice bags. This is a little dice bag. What you got on the bottom is a nice flat circle, and then it actually is a square. Isn't that fun? And so we're going to sew these sides together, then we're going to put this little bottom piece on it, and yeah, then line them, which is basically putting these two together like this. And then we put one inside of the other, and you guys have a little bag. So that's what we're making. These will be available for sale. They look super cute, and they hold a ton of stuff. And they're really big, really nice. And then, like all my stuff, I try to do as much as I can, make it reversible. You know what I mean? The only thing with these ones is if you want it to be reversible, this is only on one side. You have to actually grab through to the other side and actually push this little piece through to the other side. Because it will work. It will be reversible. It's just a little bit more effort to reverse it than the tote bag and that kind of stuff. This one's really cute. It's a Nezuko one from Demon Slayer. And then she's kind of like a cat lady. So I was like, oh, I'll do a cat on the other side. And even if you don't like, Demon Slayer, pink on with cats is kind of cute, right? This is my pattern for it. I'm a professional pattern maker, and hello, everybody. But I'm a professional pattern maker. I have a bachelor's degree in fashion design. There we go. And so, this is just a little one that shows that's like the notches, and I'll end up sewing. So you end up sewing those two lines. So this can never go above that or below that. So it's always kind of going to do the same thing. My main problem right now is I do got to figure out how to tie it better. This is the one that I always do, which is do a knot and then literally just do another knot. A knot on a knot. And that one will typically work, but there's supposed to be better ones for it. Better knots and stuff. I got to look it up to make sure I'm doing the right knot there. But other than that, it's freaking adorable as heck and super functional, sits upright, without any effort, really. And so I was planning on having a few of them done, at least 2 of them done, but this one, I ended up doing it backwards. And so the hole's right there, when obviously the hole's supposed to be up here. So I got to fix this one. This one I got to have to seam rip, and I got to get back, got to get back in there. I'm going to seam rip it, and we're going to open it back up, and I'll do that tomorrow without you guys, But I do have one more already kind of prepped, and so we're going to go ahead and prep these ones as well. And all we're really going to do is, you can see here, we're going to serge all the edges. I'm not going to serge the bottom. It's just too difficult to do, and ultimately, it doesn't really benefit it any. The reason why I want to serge this is because I wanted, if you ever do have this, turn inside out, you kind of get that professional look to it. And so, it's just going to look better. But notice, it's nice and closed. You're not going to see it really, but just in case someone happens to, mess with it or something, then I can go, boom, it does work, So these ones are ready to sew. So we'll go ahead and throw them over here for now. And then these ones, 1, 2. And if you're looking to make this pattern, it is 2 squares and then a circle that matches half of the square, right? Because say you started from this point and you went around, then that's half of it, right? And then you do it twice and you get, the full thing. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to go serge these off and then bring it back over to this table and, do the whole thing, all the fun stuff. So let's go ahead and This one. Okay, cool. So we're going to do our little scoots. You know how it is around here. Scooty, scoots. Oops. It fell off its little table. It fell off its little stand. Silly little thing. All right. My trusty little sewing machine here. Let's zoom you on in. Zooms. I'm trying to get another camera so I could have like 2 or 3 stations. Right now I only have the 2 cameras, the main one and that side camera, this camera and the other one, right? So, you know, we're saving up we have another market May 13th, which is what these bags will be for. Because I take suggestions very, very seriously, and I had 2 people tell me, hey, I want dice bags, so now I make dice bags. That's as easy as it gets. You tell me what to make, and if I can make it, then I will. And we're just going to do one leg at a time on it and get through them all. This one's really neat. It's glow in the dark. Hope everyone had a wonderful week. I've been extremely busy. Trying to just get all my little work done. Because I got another market coming up in only 2 weeks, and then after that, I have 2 markets in June because June's Pride Month. So I had to represent for the gays. So I was like, yeah, let me go out and get 2 markets in June. I currently don't have any scheduled beyond June. So we'll see, stay around, stick around, and subscribe. Also, this is my plea to you guys. If you are watching, please subscribe. I am very, very close to 100 and really want to get that by the end of the month. Also, I'm trying no music this stream. Tell me if you prefer it or don't like it. But we're going to do this whole stream with no music just to kind of chill out and see if you just want to watch me or, what's the deal. We'll figure out. Because remember I did a while back, I did a silent stream. Or I didn't talk or do anything, I just worked. As always, we are using red, white, and blue for my thread. It's part of the brand identity. I am a proud American. And then all the visible stitching is all done in rainbow, because I'm also very proudly gay. Because you can be both. All right, so we have our next bag done. Now let's go and put it together and then sew it, So we're just gonna actually kind of zoop Right over there. Boom. There we go. Let's see. I like the music as long as I hear you more than music. Yeah, and that's kind of why I was not going to do any music this time, because it's a new product. And so I was like, all right, we won't do any music this time. And then, you know, because it's a new thing, I just want to kind of show off. Let me get. All right. So these ones I've already marked. You can see it's like little orange little lines there. And so what we're going to do is we're going to sew from here to there. We're going to skip this and sew all the way down. Do that on the other side as well. So from here to there, skip this little finger length and go down, because that's where you're going to channel to have the drawstring. So you're just putting these two right sides together. It helps if the machine's on. I have a feeling we're going to need to change bobbins sometime today, because I've been busy. Reach over you real fast there. There we go. And then afterwards, we just like clip that little part. Clip that little part. And so now you can actually see there's like that little gap there. And the other side too. Let's see. All right. Yeah. I only have the markings on one side, so we got to make sure what side had the markings. Make sure it's up like this. If it's down or something like that, you can literally break a needle doing this. So, you know, be very careful if you're going to try something like that. If you notice, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little purple mark that I made. And so I know where to start and stop at. But again, the same thing, just cut it. You could probably leave it if you really wanted, but to me it's more professional to cut it. And see, now we have a little hole on both sides, and then now we have one complete circle as well. So we're going to press open these seams, and then we can put it to bottom on. And then this is the fabric that I have going with it. It is an indigo fabric from Japan. And so that's a Japanese anime. And so I figured that was an appropriate thing. If you would like your own custom dice bag, then you can message me on Instagram at Chris_collected or H of I Rugs on Instagram. Clip, get rid of all that. Boom, one side done. Yeah, these ones are not hard as much as they are tricky. Because I mean, it's not hard to do a straight line, but making sure that this is even and straight and the holes at the same spot, that's what's tricky about it. That's why I have this pattern. It's going to make it so much easier. A lot of times people use like paper patterns and things like that, and it's like that gets destroyed and warped and everything so fast. And so now we have this nice finished thing on the sides there. Boop. And so it will never fray or anything like that because it's all been serged, so you don't have any worries or problems there. Let's go ahead and do the other one while we're here too. And you could just easily, put this to this, right? Like they're all the exact same pattern pieces. And then, little things like this, it's like, okay, we'll make sure that that's the top. Same thing on this one, we'll kind of look at it and be like, all right, I like this one, so we'll put that up top. Because that's kind of like still readable, that's still readable. So, we're just kind of looking at it and being like, what two pieces look good together. Let me just line a little pattern piece up, and then you just do a little mark. This is a blue Taylor's chalk. It was a full piece, and then I dropped it on the ground today and broke it. So now I don't have a full piece anymore. Which is fine. These things are not the most expensive in the world. It's just chalk. But yeah, same thing again. We're going to do this, 4 more times total, right? So. I also have another new product that I'll be doing today. Well, technically we've done that other product before. It's the fabric boxes. But I want to make some for this next one. Because what happens is when I make those big tote bags, they require, a half yard of fabric for each color. And what happens is you end up, it's technically slightly less than half yard, so you end up with like a piece this big. And I was like, well, what can I make out of it? And I looked up stuff online, and I was like, ooh, dice bags. And then someone had said dice bags earlier to me, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna make dice bags and then make the fabric bowls and stuff, fabric boxes out of it. Always backstitch at the top, bottoms. Anytime you start and stop the machine, just backstitch it. Very cute. I also like to check when I'm doing stuff, because see, like that went a little bit down, but it's like it still won't show on the other side, which is always okay to check, But often I like checking both sides and being like, all right, what, it's all good though. This one is that beautiful green fabric. Actually, we're going to put it like this. I can always tell when I've used a pattern a lot of times, because this will start being like all blue or have like 4 or 5 colors on it as I use it different days. I'll read comments a little later, my bad. All right, so now we have 4 identical pieces. So let's take it back over there, and I want to press these seams open, and then we'll put the little squares or circles on them, and then we can go sew them up. And then we sew them to each other, so a couple more steps. So let's go scoots around. Scoots. Moving and grooving and moving my camera around. Nice. Latest roll of old school wet. Nice. All right, let me move all of this out the way. And get this little guy. Also, I am officially on a computer now. So I actually, like here, I'll scroll up for a second for you guys. So that little guy right there is my whole computer. So that's my new desktop, and then obviously I have a monitor with it and everything too. So basically you just fold that in half like that. Grab whatever iron you're using. I'm using this big industrial bad boy. And that would nice and press it open. Once you have one side pressed open, then you can kind of go to the other. And that just makes it so it's nice and clean on the inside. Because you have an opening here, or here, somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Because you have an opening here, it's like you really want that seam nice and pressed open. So I'm actually going to check the other side again, hit it again, and you really want that nice and open. Otherwise, you're going to have problems. And again, what we're making at the end is this guy right here, which is a reversible dice bag. So if you're liking what you're seeing, please subscribe to H of I on YouTube. I'm very, very close to 100 and really, really want to get it by the end of this month. That's kind of like the large goal right now. If I can get it by this month, then I'm going to do 2 giveaways next month instead of just 1. If I don't get 100, then then that is what it is. We'll keep on pushing because I'm not going anywhere even if I don't get it, right? It's like this is my only job. Is making content on the internets and then making things that people can sell and buy. And if you ever want a copy of this pattern or to talk to me more about patterns, feel free to message me on Instagram about it. I'll happily go over the measurements of all this kind of stuff with you. I don't know if that'd be entertaining or not to people, so I haven't really focused on that. But it's like, if you guys are ever like, hey, I really want to make my own dice bag or something like that, then please contact me. I'd absolutely love to talk to you about it. As I said, I have a degree in this, so it's like, this is not just me randomly doing stuff. Like, I have a full-out bachelor's degree. Spread that fabric a little bit. Normally I would steam it. This little button right there steams it, but I don't want the camera to get all foggy there, That would be bad. So yep, that's nice, that's nice. Okay, so now what we do is we take our little circles. As I said, I don't do the circle. I just found that it was losing a lot of, like when I was trying to do it, it was just losing a lot. And I was like, that's frustrating. I didn't want to do it anymore. How I do this is fold it in half and then stick a pin in that half mark. And even if you let go, you can literally pick any spot, fold it in half. And then what I do is I take the other spot, which is, this little one where my finger is now, and put that there. This is probably the most pins you'll ever see me use. The reason why we did that is we automatically know what the other side will then be. And so now this piece is perfectly in the middle. And so you just do the same thing again. You basically try to find the middle of this piece, fold it around, and find that piece. There you go, right? And then we're going to sew it. We're going to sew it specifically this way. You want to sew your bigger object onto your smaller object, never the other way around. If you try to sew like this, what will happen is this is so small and round, this is so big, you kind of basically have to like bunch it up to get it to work, and you don't want that. So you always go from your bigger object on the outside, and then I can pull it, see, and then get that curve that I need. Oh crap, you know what? I didn't actually look. See, I did it again. I've done this a couple of times now, and I keep forgetting about it, and I keep messing it up. So I'm glad I checked this time. I'm talking too much, you know? But see, we don't want it on this side. We want it on that side. Duh, Chris. You gotta make sure you can actually open your bag. So same thing I just did, but now on the correct side. See, sometimes when you guys are here, I get distracted. Find my little point again. And this time remind myself to check and go, okay, you want it on the opposite side of your opening, because that's the bottom of your bag. Also, you can make this bigger, smaller. You can make that a triangle if you wanted, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing stopping you really from making it a different shape if you wanted a perfect square or something, but, you know, traditionally, your bags are circular. And when I was making those fabric bowls, like half the people that looked at them were like, oh, are those dice bags? And I'm like, no, they're not. And so I realized then, I was like, oh, I need to make some dice bags. So that's my top. So that's my bottom. 1, 2. Did I put you, little buddy? We'll find you in a minute and we'll put you together. All right, so that's your top, that's your bottom. Do the same thing I just did, where we put that pin in there, so now we know what half of it looks like. Again, find my top, find my bottom. And also, I am, as I said, you know, trying to get to 100, so if you could subscribe and you would push me to 100, and then hopefully I'm saving up right now to get a second camera. I'm really, really close. I think once I do this next market, I'll be able to. Or if I had a few sales on my website, which is hofirugs.com, then I'd be able to, you know, buy it. I got to put like one of those goals up on screen or something and be like, all right, I'm $50 away from being able to afford it, you know? Oh, also, I forgot to mention, I do have one giant rug still left. And so we'll look at that a little later. It's the Sharingan level 3 is what it is. That was the only one that did not sell right off the bat. The Akatsuki Cloud rug, immediately, like that one sold pretty fast. All right, so that's my top, so that's my bottom. I thought I was the only top around here. All right, that's my spots. To check my floor for wherever that lightning bug one is. And feel free to put as many as you need. I know enough about this stuff that I only need 4. But if you need 20 of them, hey, put 20 of them, man. No shame in you know, putting pins in something. There's no shame in that. All right, so here's the 3 that we can do right now. I gotta find wherever the heck that other circle is, or we'll just cut another one. So let's go scoots. Scooties. We're gonna move over here now. Whoop, whoop. That's my little display rack. You can see my cool little fox guy. All right, let's make sure you're zoomed in. I'm gonna zoom you in. I'm going to zoom you in so you can see. All right, so as I said earlier, we're going to have the larger thing on the outside And basically what you do is you just go to your next pin, pull that straight. And you see here, this is a straight line, that's a curved line. So you just go to the middle and pull it. And basically you're just doing that a bunch of times. So kind of get them both flat. And then doop, doop, doop. These are always tough to do because, I mean, you're doing a round object of two pieces of, cloth that are both, flat, essentially. And once more. And see, now we have an object that can, in fact, stand on its own. So we'll just leave that there and go to its buddy. And so, ultimately we got to do that 4 times to be able to make these 2 bags. Or 3 for right now because we're missing one. I must have dropped it somewhere. I don't know where the hell. I'm looking around right now. It must be under something. You know how I am, guys. 5 minutes before this stream, I'm panicking and like running around my house trying to get all this ready. I was sewing all day, and so my house is like so filthy when I do that. It's just like little scraps everywhere. Half done tote bags all over the house. Yarn just sitting around. It's like, I was like, I'm gonna make this out of that eventually. Right now, I gotta do this. Flat, pull, lay it flat, and pull. There we go. And there's no really reason to press this or anything. Some people do clip it, but I personally don't like clipping these things. It's just a personal preference, but I don't like clipping circles. And I'm just paranoid about it. When I was making stuff professionally, it was like, if you clip something, like people would be like, be very careful because you clip it wrong and you just ruined that dress. So what you do is you turn one inside out. See, now that's like the real bottom, right? And you just shove this one inside of that one. And then that's a seam, that's a seam. Pin them together. Then go to the other side. That's your seam, that's your seam. Line those up. And of course, it's very important for this one that you do line it up because the holes, again, have to line up. Again, remember those are the holes that we have there. Or I guess I could do it this way, like poke this one through that one, But yeah, and then what I always do afterwards is a good check is going like this. If it ends up like that, you know that this piece might be a little looser than that piece. And so again, I kind of like to put the bigger thing on the outside. Make sure you are pushing this back and away. Otherwise, you're going to sew it closed, right? You don't want to do that. So you'll see me and I'll do it twice. Like I push it forwards and then push it to the side there. And this one, you do not want to go and close it. You only want to go to about 3 fingers width away. So we started there, so we want to stop right there. The reason for that is we got to pull the whole thing through. If you want to get really advanced, you can do it at 2 fingers or something like that if you want. 1 finger, honestly, you're going to be there for like so long. So it's not worth it. And then you just go inside, grab your little fingers in there, and pull it. And just kind of shove it on through. I found the best way to do it is grab one of them like this and try to pull that one all through, then worry about the second color. If you try to pull both of them at one time, think about this. 2 people going through a doorway at one time, it's going to be twice as hard, right? One person goes through the door, then the other person goes through the door, right? And so now we have what you saw earlier where it's like one piece, but it has this little hole there and the 2 little holes there. So you just bloop, put one inside of the other. Grab, yeah, and squish it in there. I love to shake it. That's always, or beat it. Spam, wha-bam, wha-bam. That's always a fun thing to do to these things. Because these things are durable. That's very high-end indigo, and that's 100% cotton. So, you can beat the crap out of this thing, and it's not going to do anything. But it's just mainly because you want them to be nice and flat. We are going to press this before we move any further, but I did want to show you kind of like, that's your thing, that's your bag now, right? All we really need to do is, we're going to stitch some stuff here, we're going to stitch some stuff there, and you have a bag. I got to find that other piece though, so we're going to go and press this guy, and then I can try to go search for that thing. Doop 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 scoop scoop scoot scooties scoot scooties. Once you have your bag laying like pretty flat and nice, then you can get your iron up in there. Hey! There it is. See, I knew it had to be here. It was just underneath the dice bag. Is what it was. It was just underneath my dice bag. My sample one. Now I'm just kind of like scooting it in there, just like taking your fingers and running it like that is what I'm doing. And that's like the best way to move fabric around. It's just like with the tips of your fingers. So I press it once on the inside, and then if I think it looks good, then I'll press it once on the outside too. Especially because we're going to sew all of this too. So it's good to kind of give that a little pressing. I wish it would line up. Sometimes I can get it to line up. Sometimes it's more difficult to get them to line up. Like that one's not too bad. And it's going to be an amazing, if you're into, Demon Slayer, this is obviously going to be a great bag for you. If you just, maybe that's what you're doing. You're playing D&D, but you want to play it with a cool character, right? So while we're here, we'll go ahead and put this one together too. And see, this one I made sure to cut perfectly, so that was kind of right in the center. Same thing as before. Now we know what our half point is. Also, a funny random thing. Look how many different types of pens I have. There's this one. That one's like the little small one. That one matches, but that one's a completely different type. I have like I have probably at least 1,000 pins and easily 5 or 6 different types. Ooh, also, Scooties, hold on. I also wanted to show you guys this. So I love upcycling. And so this is now one piece of fabric, but it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of fabric. See that? And I've actually even top stitched it as well. So it will lay flat, and I'm going to make something into this. I have not decided yet. So you can decide if you want. I'm actually thinking of posting it on Instagram and just being like, okay, whoever claims this piece can make whatever the heck they want out of it. I have a little bit more of both of these fabrics, so I'm gonna like keep using it, and you know, as I need, I'll keep sewing more onto the ends. And therefore maybe make a tote bag out of it, maybe make some fabric bowls or bags or dice bags like this. I haven't decided yet. But that is one option. If you ever see a fabric that you like and you're like, oh, that'd be cool, but I want half and half, I can definitely do that for you. And I will be doing that for any fabric. Like you'll probably end up seeing a little bit of this or a little bit of that or a little bit of this in another project later. Because I mean, I just love upcycling. It's just, you know, it's good for the environment, but also good for my wallet too, right? Because I get to not throw stuff away and keep it, and then I can still sell it and make money on it, right? What I'm gonna do now is top stitch this, which will close that hole, but not the holes that we made on purpose, just the top bag hole here. And then I've been doing it at 1/4 of an inch. You can do it at whatever you want, really, but I like 1/4 of an inch. You really want to try to get these as even as possible to give you the cleanest look. But a little bit of overlap here and there is not the end of the world. That's why it's important to make sure your colors are, you know, similar to each other. In this case, I picked 2 cool colors, right? Black and green, or teal technically, match really well with this indigo. And so now what we need to do, oh, you know, I can zoom you guys in a little bit more too. So now what we're going to do is zoom you in a little bit there. Okay, so I have 2 identical burgundy ribbons is what they are. And what you do is take a safety pin. And get yourself a nice safety pin. Like this one is very tough and sturdy. You don't want something cheesy and flimsy. Oh, hold on. I forgot to, You also want to burn the ends. It takes like half a second to burn these ends, so don't even like, you know, just hit it with the flame and you're done. You don't need to, you know, sit there for a minute or something and cook it. It's like just touch it with the flame and you're done. Also, fun side note, if it burns, it's fake polyester. If it, if it melts like this, it's polyester. If it just burned into like ash, then that would be cotton. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this in there, but not through. We want it in the middle. Oh, actually, hold on, sorry. Shit, I forgot to put my stripes on it. See, you guys got me twisted. I'm sitting over there thinking too hard. I always get nervous when I'm on camera like this, you know, especially doing a newer thing. So what I meant to say is before we do that, we have our hole here, and we want to try to get these 2 holes lined up so we can actually like see through it. Then what we're going to do is take it under the machine, put your little presser foot right at the hole. Then make sure, there's nothing underneath of it. You want it, so you have a nice hole open there. And then we're just going to go all the way around. This is one of those times you just got to trust in yourself, and you're like, I can do a straight line. Because there's really no guide or anything like that. You're just doing it. So we got to do that twice. Basically, set up a bottom and set up a top to this piece. And so you can see it very clearly on the outside. We're going to do it again. The reason why we're doing this is we're setting a channel so that that ribbon can never move. Otherwise, it will slide all the way around. And, the same thing we just did, we just got to do it again. And again, just kind of like, trust in yourself there that you can do a nice straight line. Now, you guys watching, give me the confidence to do it. So boop that like button for me. I think we did a pretty good job. We got started and stopped in the same spot. So now we can take our little guy, and again, you don't want it to go through, you want it to go in the middle. You're not going to see it. And the reason why you have this is because this is soft and you're never going to get it through otherwise. So you just kind of scrunch up a little bit and pull. And see, it will never be able to go past where you stitched it. So just scrunch it, and pull. And here's the key part right here. Keep going. You don't want it to, it's not just going to the other side. You actually want to go all the way around. That's kind of like one of the secrets of getting these bags really, really good. And it was a common problem for me when I was first making them. I was just going one and not two. And I looked up some stuff online and they were like, no, you need two of them. And that will give you like a really professional dice bag. And so now we're going to come out the way we came in. Make sure not to pull too much, right? Then you'll lose this piece in there. And see now, when I go to pull both of them, you see how much that really tightens it up. But you can kind of see that it's like lopsided. Like this side pulled really hard, but that side is kind of loose, right? Which is why you do it again. But this time on the other side. So you have two of them that you go like that and you pull it and you're done. Same thing here. And it doesn't matter. You could start this way and go that. You can, that's not going to matter at all because you're going to go 360, so it truly doesn't matter. But again, make sure you're solid in there. Otherwise, you'll see it, right? And who wants to do that? It's not professional looking. Also, I have not figured out a price for these yet. I just started making them today, and so I don't have a price. So if you think of a price, you're like, oh, I would spend this much on this product. Now that you've seen it made from start to finish, what do you think it's worth? Pull. And pull. This is a common problem. Because this piece is folded over, don't force it, kind of like wiggle it, and that will get you through the day there. And see now, when you go to pull it, you're pulling both sides, And see, one side is not loose anymore, right? You got both sides so tight, right? So you're good there now. And so this bag is essentially done. What we're going to do, the same thing we did last time, is, you know what? We're actually going to hit that little guy again. He wasn't fully frayed. Oops. Yeah, make sure you tie the right ones together. So if anyone has a suggestion on the type of knot I should use, feel free to put that in the comments below. Or send me a link on my Instagram, you know, and I'll watch it. Unfortunately, I was not a Boy Scout, so I don't have a knots badge there. And that can happen. The extra fraying was basically because I put this sharp knife through it, right? So that's why it did that. But you know, a simple lighter will solve that problem for you right away. And you're never really going to see that little burnt end. You're not really going to see it. Boom. And see, when you go like that, now it will only go to like where my little hole is, right? What the heck happened there? Okay, so that is the right one. There you go. My little hole there fell out. So I'm going to have to figure out something for that to make it maybe just like a bigger knot. You know, so that's why I wanted to show you guys this today, to kind of get you guys' feedback on what the product is, how much it should be cost, if you have any problems or concerns with it. You know, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Maybe you want it bigger, maybe you want it smaller, right? But I love it. Like, the design is ultimately, I think, really good. I think it's really functional. I love that it will stand on its own like that. I mean, there's nothing, you know, there's nothing in this bag, obviously. You just saw it get made. So it's like, you know, and that's you know, that's what that is the 2 layers. That 2 layers of fabric and then that solid circle. So now there's 2 circles sitting on top of each other, right? And it will never really, again, because we've sewn it, it won't go past this point anymore in terms of that. And so if you do want to, you know, make it reversible, you turn the whole thing inside out, and then you find your little hole here, and you can poke this little guy through, and he'll go through. But obviously, I would say a lot of these I'm probably going to design to be one-sided. Like this one is obviously like, this is more important to see. And then I kind of just like that, you know, when you close it, you see this little bit of Japanese indigo. You know, it goes with the theme, right? It's anime, it's, you know, it's cute. I gotta find me some Dungeons and Dragons fabric, because I mean, obviously most people with dice bags, they're doing Dungeons and Dragons. So let's go ahead and get this other 2 done. Oh, see, I gotta be careful, see? My little, so I'm saying, I gotta figure out something. I might super glue it, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like do this, knot, and then literally put a little dab of super glue right there. Maybe that will work. I don't know. We'll figure that out, you know? But for now, we're just going to leave that right there. You guys can see that, right? Yeah. Let's see. You got comments? What did they say? Yeah, it could be a purse if I jewelry bag, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to research it on the internet too, yeah. See you later, Umpty. Let's see. I don't know how to put the strings properly. Okay, thank you. You could call it dice bag, storage bags, phone, iPad charging bag, bottle bag. Bottle bags and stuff like that are technically different. So if it was a bottle bag, what I would do is I wouldn't put this on there. I'd put a strap on it instead. So if I took a strap like this and I had sewn that in, like you sew that to that, and then that becomes a handle. and that's your that's like a soda bag, or you know, you would make it smaller so it fit one thing of water. And I was thinking about doing that too. I saw, because I mean, I'm doing live markets now, and so one of the things that I saw was people walking around obviously with water. I mean, it's Arizona. It was 90 degrees out there. I was there for 7 hours in 90-degree weather. So trust me when I say I had like a full heat stroke from it. I was last market was a little rough for me. So I have like multiple boxes, and I forgot my box of like Creature Comforts, and like, oh man. So I just ordered a new AC for me. It should be coming on Amazon, obviously. It should be coming in the next couple of days, and I actually ordered like 2 different ones so that I can really get cool. Because I mean, I literally, like, if the girl next to me didn't give me some like water, I was straight up gonna pass out. It was one of those things where I was like starting to feel like woozy. I was like, and then of course you have to sit there and talk to people the whole time. I was losing my mind. Because the weather the other day had said 80, and I was like, okay, I'll just bring 2 bottles of like 1 liter, like not 1 liter, but like, you know, the little swell ones that I have. I was like, I'll just bring 2 of those. Man, I drained that sucker in 2 hours. I had every single bit. Oh, yeah, we did run out. I literally did. So I'm going to go up to Goodwill or something like that tomorrow and try to get me like a cooler, because I don't have a cooler. I mean, little things like that. So luckily on my phone, this little guy that you're watching right now, I have a list of like, before the next one, I have to make sure that I have all this stuff, because I mean, May's obviously going to be hotter. Best idea ever, make a bunch of these beforehand. So I have like, right now I have like 2 or 3 empty ones, because they were all full at one point. And so now they're empty again. So later on tonight, I will redo them all when you guys are not around, because I mean, that's not entertaining, you know what I mean? Actually, maybe it is. It is kind of a cool contraption. Just in case you're curious, zoop. Let's see, can I get you? Yeah, I can get you guys under there. So that's my little bobbin case. Let's see, can you see under there? And not really, it's just kind of a black hole for you guys. All right, I'll get some lights in the future. What the heck? My bad, my little piece was falling apart there. Yeah, that's perfect, okay. Yeah, all right, so, but yeah, it goes in there, and it comes up the bottom here. And you should be able to pull it with no effort. If you have any resistance to it at all, you have to fix that, because your machine will break. Like these machines, these industrial ones, they will last 100 years if you do it right, and they will break immediately if you do it wrong. Like the level of difficulty on industrial machines is so much higher, because the little ones, they don't go that fast, you know? But honestly, use whatever you can. Ain't no shame in any game here, you know what I mean? Like, we're not here to be elitist bullshit, you know? You do whatever you need. I just want to have the highest quality because I'm selling this stuff, and so I want my customers to walk away going, wow, this is better than I could make at home. And I've had people at markets tell me that. They're like, this is better than I make at my house. And I'm like, well, sweet, give me $5 and you can have it, buddy. You know what I mean? You can have it. Give me money. And then it's yours. And then I like just cleaning up all that little yarn or thread, whatever you want to call it. And then I like to check it too, make sure everything looks good. You know, does it pass the standing test? Yep, it sure does. Now we got one more. Same thing as before, do the big piece on the outside. You will thank yourself a million times over later when you're not freaking out and stretching everything. And hey, if you've been watching this long, can you please hit that like button for me? And then also that subscribe button. When I hit 100, I will be doing a giveaway. And then every month for the rest of this year, I will be doing a giveaway. And then basically it's kind of like 2 different giveaways. One giveaway for each 100 more people that I get. I will be doing a giveaway for that. And then for every month of the year, I have another giveaway as well. And there's no limit to how many times you can win per year, but you can only win once per thing. So like last time I had 3 of them that I was giving away, so you could only win 1 of the 3, but you know, you can immediately enter the next giveaway, which will, by the way, be starting May 10th, just so you know. It will be May 10th and it will run to May 20th. And then, because it's only, I do 10 days is how I do it. So May 10th to May 20th. And if you're curious why I do it only for 10 days, is because I run an ad on Instagram as well to try to get more followers. Also, thankfully, I didn't screw this up this time. I remembered. Oh, I screwed it up. See? I knew it. I forgot it. And see, I'm telling you guys, when you guys are here, like, I just get nervous. That's no problem. But yeah, so we do have to fix that. And so all you do really is you just go in there. This is called a seam ripper. And all you do is go to every 3rd one and pop it. See, I'm getting all nervous today because I'm making new stuff. And I was like, I'm going to impress them with all my new cool stuff. And see, if you only do every 3rd, you can just pull it apart. That is the absolute correct way of doing that. The only time it doesn't work if you go to here where it has back stitches. So that one you kind of have to do individually. But see, once I went past it, then it separated again. Luckily, you know, it's just thread and fabric, right? It's not the end of the world. Pull that apart. Now, I've seen some people before, if you're not very good at doing these circles, sometimes people will make it like a ½ inch or so bigger, and then that way you just cut away afterwards. All right, so we're going to pull all that little thread out. And it's better to pull this stuff out now than leaving it in, because you'll end up sewing over it. And then you just have this like one weird piece, and you're like, why is that one thing weird colored? And it's not going to make any sense later. All right, so we're just going to do the same thing again. Sorry for doing that wrong. Through. Now we know where our sides are. Now we check again. That's the top. This is the bottom. Right. Okay, one last check. Yep, I did it right because I will lose it if I do it wrong again. I mean, not really, but I mean, kind of, you know. Also, anytime you're doing this kind of stuff, you can make sure your needle is down. Otherwise, as I pull, I could end up pulling the entire thing. You don't want that. So it's okay to, like, say I have a hand wheel over here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, I have a little hand wheel right here. So that will manually run the machine for me. Which I think some industrial ones, I mean, all the industrial ones, I don't think all of the, all home sewing machines have that. Pull, pull, go. Clean her on up. Also, one thing to note, I try to use, this is kind of like a dull one because even if I clipped right now, it's like, it barely will cut it, you know what I mean? Like, so it's better to, you know, something, because I have really sharp ones too. Well, I typically try to use that one. Because it needs to be sharp enough to cut thread, but not sharp enough to cut anything else. And so, you know, we got a nice little thing here, a nice little bag. We're gonna shove this bag inside of that bag. Find one seam, find the other seam. Mark it and do it. Seam, seam. Doesn't this look nice too, to have it like pressed open and to have it have that serging on there? Like, you know, you're getting a quality product from me. That is something that I really wanted to focus on in my company. Is I wanted to make something that, you know, if it's not going to last 5 years or more, then honestly, I don't want to make it. Because I understand that, you know, when people buy something, they're really choosing how to spend their money. And as someone that works independently, right, every dollar I make is something that I made and did. It's like I can understand the stress of, oh, I can buy it on Amazon or I can buy it from this guy at a market, you know, like I get it. And so I want you to know that when you buy from me, you're buying something that I hope is honestly better than Amazon quality. Or really even kind of better than some of the Etsy quality that's out there, because I really am pushing for highest professional standards I can do. In fact, I would be bounding all of these if I had the right machine for it. Same thing as I said before, just kind of, I basically separated these two out. Then I went in and just grabbed the green. And then if you pull both directions instead of one, you know, you do half the work, right? It's like, whoop. There we go. And I liked this one because this is very shiny. This is kind of like dull, but this is glow in the dark, right? So it's like, it was kind of a juxtaposition of colors that I thought was fun. Originally, I was actually going to put this one with this one, and then put this one with that one. But ultimately, I was like, I kind of like the light and dark on this, and I like light and dark on that. And I was like, oh, that's more fun that way, you know? That's why I said I kind of made them more one-sided, because it's like, that's most likely what the person's going to use. And then when they want, they can kind of see this cool inner piece and be like, oh, that's shiny and neat and cool, you know? Okay, so let's go ahead and press this little guy. And what I'm doing is just kind of rolling back and forth with my fingers and getting that to be nice and level. And, you know, some industrial places, that's all they would do. They wouldn't even press it. Because you don't really need to, but it's like, I just like to. I find it helpful for me. So let's go scoot, scoots. Scoot, scooties, scoot, scooties. I'm moving my camera around. No need to get nervous on air. You know what you're doing. Oh, thanks. Everyone gets distracted, makes mistakes. I really like your color choices. Oh, thank you. I like my color choices too. But that being said, zoom, zoom, zoom. All of that is fabric. You know what I mean? So one of these days, I'm thinking about taking photos of all my fabric and then, you know, being like, okay, guys, what do you want to buy? And then, you know, I'll make it as you buy it. So that is something in the future. Specifically in May, I do want to launch a little Patreon. And the Patreon will be exactly that. Like, I'll literally be posting the fabric that I own. And, you know, I can even like post like Joann's and that kind of stuff and be like, do you want something from this website? Or, you know, maybe showing you guys some of the other websites that I get stuff from, like Quiltgate and Mizaki's, stuff like that. And showing you those stuff and just being like, all right, which one of these do you want me to buy? And then we'll do a poll, and whatever one gets the most votes, then I buy that fabric. And then, you know, you'd pay me monthly, and then you'd get a tote bag or a dice bag or whatever you choose to get. Kind of a way to customize yourself, but also the ultimate like Patreon for gifts. You have a friend, a brother, a cousin, an uncle, a nephew, whatever you have, I can make a bag for that guy or girl or guy or non-binary pal. Back. What I'm trying to do right now is just make sure these both are flat. Because, you know, when we're turning things in and out and all that, it can get a little bit jammed up and such. So, you know, ultimately you just want to be able to see your finger through it, right? Like get it nice and clean. Maybe hit that with one more pressing. There we go. All right, so let's go finish these 3 lines, 1 at the top, 2 down here, and then that bag will be done, and then that will be it for the stream today. I was gonna do some more, but it's already like been an hour, and I'm kind of just a little tired. I've been, let's see, I'll zoom you over here. All of these, and then if you look over there, the big mess that is my room right now. Oh, shit. Yeah. There we go. See, here's another. These are all tote bags. Tote bag, tote bag, tote bag. Because they look like I got some SpongeBob coming. More Pokemon coming. This one's like little handprints, but it has like nails to it. So I freaking love that one. Here's look at these ones. Some people had asked for Naruto. So that one's Naruto. Let's see. Should be some more. I have another set, some more. Where are the other ones? I have some more somewhere. I kind of moved them all around right beforehand. Ooh, look at this one. This one I love too. It's little kitty cats, but all the little kitty cats are gay. Little rainbow cats. Isn't that adorable? And so that will be ones. This one too is super, super cute. It's all SpongeBob faces. Boom. All little SpongeBob faces. And then this one, as I said earlier, is a bunch of like little handprints, but all the little handprints, or half of the handprints, have little nails to them. So, you know, and I got even more coming. You know what I mean? I got, you know, there's the guy from Demon Slayer, you know what I mean? And then, you know, oh yeah, here they are, some of it. Oh, look at this one. This one's little doggies. You can kind of see it on that side. It's like little dogs. But, you know, it's kind of chaos right now because it's like, you know, every single day making 10 of them or whatever I can make, you know, and then I kind of leave them in this state, and then the next day I'll come back and make, you know, put them all together. Then the next day, you know, finish them off, right? Like 2 or 3 day process, and kind of just work slow, get it all done. Ooh, shit. Yeah, so this thing has this like base to it. If I don't put the base right, then it will literally fall. All right. Oh yeah, here's another one. This one's super cute too. It's like them as like little cheerleaders. That one's cute too. All right. Let's grab this. I want to grab 2. I already pre-cut a bunch of these. Because the plan is to have a dozen of these. I have 2 weeks to do it, so I have plenty of time. But there will be a dozen of these for sale. And again, if you have any preference, even if you don't want to buy it, you just want to see what it looks like. Hey, that's cool, man. I've told people before, I don't mind if you just like, I want to see this with this. I'll make it. And if later you're like, you know what, I don't love it. Hey, man, I'll still sell it. It's still mine, you know what I mean? I'll still sell it. I'll sell it to someone else, granted, not you, but I mean, you know, if you want it, you can have it. Because, I mean, I wanted to show you guys that, you know, part of this is not only learning, but interacting. And to kind of give you a preview of how the Patreon's going to work, of like, you want something, you get it made, you know? The ultimate thing for birthdays or Christmases. And it's okay if you only end the Patreon for a month or 2 months, or like, oh, you know, I don't have any birthdays this month, so I'll come back in 2 or 3 months when, oh, all my kids have birthdays, you know? I have no problem with that at all. But it's a way for me to have a steady income is really like the main goal there. Is that way every month I'm like, okay, at least I have, you know, this $25 or $50 or, you know, hundreds of dollars, whatever. Hopefully I have, you know, get some people in there. So let's make sure these holes are lined up. So that one is lined up. Put it under the machine. And then you can even, like, you know, if it was really causing problems for you, like it is kind of right now, put a pin in it, right? Remember, part of my brand is everything will be in rainbow thread. If you don't want it in rainbow thread, well, you know what? You're not getting it. I demand rainbow thread, which is 100% cotton, by the way. All right. I did want to make one last plea. If you have watched this stream, please subscribe. It would mean like more than I think exists in the English language to really express how happy it would be. Like I wake up, I check it probably 10 times a day. So I mean, it's not a joke. Like I'm very serious about this career. And it's kind of like vain of me, I know, but you know, I need to grow, get people ready for these Patreon coming, get people ready to buy things and also, you know, trust in themselves, honor themselves and others, and create a world that's safer for everyone. Or THC for short. And of course, the rainbow thread, I think personally, does make it look kind of cool. That one's a little bit there. I kind of hooked it there, but that's all right. It won't be noticeable once it's bagged up there. Just hit that for 1 second. And then hook that on through. And same thing we've done previously. Sure it's not, you know, it's not going through. And just punch and pull. Bunch it up, baby, bunch it up. Bunch it up, baby, bunch it up. My new single's dropping called Bunch It Up. When you get to this part, it's okay to just kind of like, you just kind of wiggle it. And we'll get through. Also, I find if you put your finger, so like that's the piece right now, I'm going to put my finger there on the back and then kind of bunch to that point and then pull, and I find that that's like the best way of doing it, because that way this piece doesn't move and you can go through it a little faster. And you can just kind of wiggle it, or zoom back a little bit and come back in. Bam, there we go. And if it did unfray a little bit, just hit it again. In fact, in the future, maybe I'll just do it afterwards. Let's do that with my proper hand. Also, nail check. I still got the nails, but they're starting to chip at different places because, you know, I'm a hardworking man. So, you know, you end up getting some chipped nails. And that's all right. Back it up and wiggle it. There we go. Through. Also, there is a device called a Bobkin. What that is basically just a safety pin, but much longer. I have one somewhere in this house. But, you know, I've been sewing for 6 years now professionally, so God knows where that is. This house has been torn apart so many times from like, I'm going to do this now. Now I'm going to make this stuff. Now I'm going to... did it fall through? It did. All right, well, that's fine. We'll just do it again. Now let's make sure we tie this one this time, because I forgot to tie it. Don't want to have to do it a third time. But as I said, I think I'm going to hit it with super glue in the future, and that way you never got to worry about it ever again. And realistically, if you ever wanted to change this thread or something did happen to it, you can always just redo it, right? The hole's not going anywhere. Back it up a little bit and just kind of like wiggle it through. Oh, not the one that's stuck on, okay. If it's really pesky, you can kind of get your little finger in there. All right, guys. My name is Chris Collected. I am a queer, subversive artist specializing in digital and physical media. You just watched one of my live streams, one of my little videos on how I make the cool little stuff that I make. This bag and anything that you see on that I ever make will be for sale. I don't know the current price of these. I'm thinking $6. That's what I'm thinking. I think it's a good price because you get this kind of feature to it. It stands up and it's fully reversible. So I think $6, but you tell me, would you pay $6 for that? Again, it has that cool, like, that's on the bottom. That's kind of cool. And then, you know, everything's kind of facing essentially the same direction. And you get this kind of, like, cool little green to the top of it. Or if you don't want that, you can kind of, like, you know, scritch it up a little bit. This will fit an entire pack of cards. This will fit tons and tons of dice. They sell, excuse me, they sell dice in, like, packages, like little square packages. And that will fit 2 or 3 packages in there. I mean, no problem at all. I mean, you can easily say you can go wider with it and stuff too. But if you do require a bigger one, just tell me. Or if you think this is too big, then tell me. I like the size. I think it's not too big because, you know, in the D&D world, you have a ton of dice. I've never met anyone who just has 4 or 5 dice. They always have 30, you know? So I'm going to go back over and recap today's lesson and demonstration. Scooties. All right, so let's switch it. Hey, there I am in HD. I was thinking 5 to 10 depending on the material used. The price is good, thanks and have a good day. All right. So we have, here's my third one. See, I was showing you guys all this cool stuff and I lost my third bag. Oh, there it is, duh. All right, so we now have one. This one has Nezuko on the inside and cute little cat fabric on the outside with a red little drawstring on it. This one is, you know, it shows up on there a lot bluer than it really is. It is really very green. But you have, you know, the nice blue inside, and you have the nice green outside. Again, fully usable. Finally, we got our little glow-in-the-dark one, which I'll see. Yeah, it's going to be too bright right now to be able to get it to really light up. But the white part on that will glow in the dark. So now we got 3 little dice bags done. The goal is to have 1 dozen. So I got another, how many? 9. I got another 9 to go, right? So, right, 10, 11, 12. Hey, I can count. Well, I can count. I would hope so, huh? But yeah, so I got 9 more to go. And so if you have a preference, which technically, I guess 8 more to go because I'll fix that one and that one will be done too. But if you have a preference, maybe the SpongeBob, maybe Pokemon, whatever it is, I got more fabric of it. You know, if not, I'll try to find it and source it, and hey. And then I have about a lot. I'm not going to say how much money. I just thought about it. I was like, I'm not going to say how much money I've spent. But a lot of money I've spent on buying more fabric, Japanese fabric, really nice cotton versions of like all of this stuff. So, I mean, I am set up. Like June is going to be so animated out, so prided out, so amazing. May is going to be absolutely amazing. So subscribe, hit that button, hit that notification, trust in yourself, honor yourself and others, and create a world that is safer for everyone, including me, including you, including everyone. No matter race, color, skin, anything. I love in my little country. I love being myself. I love being, you know, fabulous. Look at this, look at this. I have been working out. Look at that. I mean, almost gone. You know what I mean? Like, oh. You know, like here. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? I'm getting big. You know, I'm working out all the time. I'm happy. I'm loving myself. And I hope you do too. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. My name is Chris Collected. I am a queer, subversive artist specializing in digital and physical media. This is the conclusion of my live stream. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Trust in yourself, honor yourself and others, and create a world safe for everyone. If you enjoyed today's show, feel free to go to linktree/Chris Collected, and I have a PayPal link on there where you can send me a tip. Otherwise, I have a Patreon coming next month. So, hey, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you tomorrow if you want to watch me play some Cyberpunk. Because I think I'm just going to do Cyber. Actually, wait. No, actually, I have, I have the rugs coming out tomorrow. So, no, I have rugs coming tomorrow. So, tomorrow I have rugs, and then probably Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to play some more Cyberpunk. See y'all. Bye, bye, bye. Thanks. Yeah. Thank you so much. See y'all. Bye, y'all. Bye.